On the 14th of February each year, we send cards and gifts to our loved one in a tradition we know as Valentine's Day, which is also called St. Valentine's Day or the Feast of St. Valentine. But where did this tradition come from? Valentine's Day originated as a Christian feast day honouring one or two early Christian martyrs named St. Valentine, and, through later folk traditions, has become a significant cultural, religious and commercial celebration of romance and love in the many regions of the world. There were numerous early Christian martyrs named Valentine, but the Valentines honoured on the 14th of February are Valentine of Rome and Valentine of Terni. Valentine of Rome was a priest in Rome who was martyred in 269 AD and was added to the calendar of saints by Pope Gelasius I in 496 AD and was buried on the Via Flaminia. The relics of Saint Valentine were kept in the church and catacombs of Santa Valentino in Rome, which remained an important pilgrimage site throughout the Middle Ages until the relics of Saint Valentine were transferred to the church of Santa Presti during the pontificate of Nicholas IV. The flower-crowned skull of Saint Valentine is exhibited in the Ballista of Santa Maria in Cosmedian, Rome. Other relics are found at Whitefriars Street, Carmelite Church in Dublin, Ireland. Valentine of Terni became Bishop of Intramenia, now Terni in central Italy, and is said to have been martyred during the persecution of Emperor Aurelian in 273 AD. He is buried on the Via Flaminia, but in a different location from Valentine of Rome. His relics are at the Basilica of St. Valentine in Terni. Professor Jack B. Aruch of the University of Kansas notes that abstracts of the arts of the two saints are in nearly every church and monastery of Europe. The Catholic Encyclopedia also speaks of a third saint named Valentine, who was mentioned in the early martyrologies under the date of 14th of February. He was martyred in Africa with several companions, but nothing more is known about him. A relic claimed to be St. Valentine of Terni's head was preserved in the Abbey of Newminster, Winchester, and venerated. J.C. Cooper, in the Dictionary of Christianity, writes that St. Valentine was a priest of Rome who was imprisoned for aiding persecuted Christians. Contemporary records of St. Valentine were most probably destroyed during the Diocletian persecution in the early 4th century. In the 5th or 6th century, a work called Passio Mariae et Maphane published a story of martyrdom for St. Valentine of Rome, perhaps by borrowing tortures that happened to other saints, as was usual in the literature of that period. The same events are also found in Bede's Morphology, which was compiled in the 8th century. It states that St. Valentine was persecuted as a Christian and interrogated by the Roman Emperor Claudius II in person. Claudius was impressed by Valentine and had a discussion with him, attempting to get him to convert to Roman paganism to save his life. Valentine refused and instead tried to convert Claudius to Christianity. Because of this, he was executed. Another embellishment suggests that St. Valentine performed clandestine Christian weddings for soldiers who were forbidden to marry. The Roman Emperor Claudius II supposedly forbade this to grow his army, believing that married men did not make for good soldiers. However, George Monger writes that this marriage ban was never issued, and that Claudius II told his soldiers to take 2 or 3 women for themselves after the victory over the Goths. According to legend, in order to remind these men of their vows and God's love, St. Valentine is said to have cut hearts from parchment, giving them to these soldiers and persecuted Christians, a possible origin of the widespread use of hearts on St. Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day has also been linked to the Roman festival of Lupercalia. In ancient Rome, Lupercalia was observed from the 13th to 15th of February. It was a rite connected to purification and health, and had only a slight connection to fertility and none to love. Lupercalia was a festival local to the city of Rome. The more general festival of Juno Februara, meaning Juno the Purifier, or the Chaste Juno, was celebrated on the 13th and 14th of February. It is unclear as to when Valentine's Day became intertwined with love. The first recorded association of Valentine's Day with romantic love is believed to be in the Parliament of Fowls, 1382, by Geoffrey Chaucer, a dream vision portraying a parliament for birds to choose their mates. Honouring the first anniversary of the engagement of the 15-year-old King Richard II of England to 15-year-old Anne of Bohemia, Chaucer wrote, "For this was on St. Valentine's Day, when every bird comes there to choose his match, of every kind that men may think of, and that so huge a noise they began to make, that earth and air and tree and every lake was so full that not easily was there space for me to stand, so full was all this place." Chaucer's Parliament of Fowls refers to a supposedly established tradition, but there is no record of such a tradition before Chaucer. The earliest description of 14th of February as an annual celebration of love appears in the Charter of the Court of Love. The charter, allegedly issued by Charles VI of France in 1400, describes lavish festivities to be attended by several members of the royal court, including a feast, harmonious song and poetry competitions, jousting and dancing. Amid these festivities, the attending ladies would hear the rule on disputes from lovers. In modern times, Valentine's Day has become a commercial custom, connecting the day with romantic love. In 1868, the British chocolate company Cadbury created fancy boxes, a decorated box of chocolates in the shape of a heart for Valentine's Day. Boxes of filled chocolates quickly became associated with the holiday. Then, in the second half of the 20th century, the practice of exchanging cards was extended to all manner of gifts, such as giving jewellery. In the UK alone, just under half the population spend money on their Valentines, and around 1.3 billion is spent yearly on cards, flowers, chocolates and other gifts, with an estimated 25 million cards being sent.